Hey, what is going on? It is Bark back with yet another episode of Obscure Mics, and it is a redo because I am a dumbass. Redo, dumbass. So, Presonus PX-1. Here's the story on this thing. Ode to myself. Gonna set it over here. Story on this. Zoom H6. I had a bad preamp on the Zoom H6. We're just going back to the Rodecaster Pro. I sent the Zoom H6 back. It made the Presonus PX-1 sound not great. Even in my headphones, not just on the recording, didn't sound great. So, what do you get in the box of the Presonus PX-1? Well, let's talk about it. First off, you get this leather carrying pouch that is Sterling-esque, Sterling Microphones-esque. Vinyl leather, I'm not sure. Feels like pleather, just for you folks that are like, it was supposed to be leather. You steered me in the wrong direction, you son of a bitch. Sorry. Anyways, you get that and more. You get the microphone. And it's a nice, silver, sturdy, heavy, nice microphone with a very sturdy grill. No give to that sucker. You got a XLR port, no bells and switches, and you've got the hard mount that comes with it. So, pretty basic here on the Presonus PX-1. Now, I hate when I mess up, which it was technically the Zoom H6's fault, but I still hate to push out a video that I don't know isn't the true sound of the microphone. That was very aggravating. So, just like most of the videos, I lead in on the SM7B because people love the smoothness and richness of the SM7B. It may not exactly be a fair comparison when it comes to a condenser microphone, but it still gives you an idea of what you may want to use for voiceover and podcasting. I'm not much of a musician. I have guitars. I can make jingles and intros to podcasts, but I'm not advanced like some of the other guys that do mic reviews. I'm just not that interested in playing guitar. I'm more interested in voice and, voiceover, that kind of stuff. Can somebody help me? I'm struggling here. Anyways, let's go ahead and take the SM7B out of the equation and switch over to the Presonus PX-1. This does run about $139 on most music stores, online marketplaces. I don't know if you can walk into your local Walmart and find one, because last time I checked every Walmart in the nation, you can get a blue snowball, and that's about it. Let's switch over, PX-1. See you later, SM7B. All right, so now we are on the Presonus PX-1, and right out of the gate, you get a totally different sound than the Shure SM7B, but sweating profusely, Ohio heat. It's not a terrible sound. It is actually, this is so much better than it sounded in the Zoom H6. So I almost feel like I'm ripping off Bandrew here with some of the ideas and thoughts that I have. Not ideas, thoughts I have about the PX-1. But Bandrew's just right most of the time on his mic analysis. Now, let me tell you something real quick. Every analysis is different. Every set of ears is different. So there's a lot of folks out there that are just very biased towards one sound or the other and just think that it's fact or opinion. That's not the case. I've reviewed or tested mics that I just absolutely hated that people absolutely love. That's the thing. Not everyone is into the same sound. Not everyone likes the same things. Not everyone likes the same music. Not everyone likes the same tones. So this is more about letting you know what a mic sounds like than you going off my opinion. My opinion means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I just want you to hear this mic, but I will also give you my thoughts, because I feel like my thoughts are at least somewhat worthy to some people, but I definitely am not the end all of microphones. That's a fact, not even close. So Presonus PX-1, let's talk into it, throw some plosives in it. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. The plosives are pretty bad. I had some cutout on one of those hard P's. See that cutout? Not great. So for the sake of knowing, do I have a foamy? Let's grab a poppy. All right. So let's go ahead and throw this weird pop filter in front of it. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple plosives. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple plosives. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple plosives. When you get right on top of the PX-1 from Presonus, this is what it sounds like when you're right on top of the Presonus PX-1. Let's go ahead and get the off-axis rejection. Here is directly into the microphone, 90 degrees into the microphone, 180 degrees into the microphone, 90 degrees once again, and I'm going to spin it all the way back around to the front of the microphone. So, much like most condensers, your off-axis rejection is not going to be great. Still don't have a keyboard, asphalt hell, but here's some tapping on the table to see what that sounds like in this microphone. Then just a real quick singing test. Time to take her home here. That's all I got. I've got another confession to make. Yeah, I'm no fool. Oh my God. Just cut up a couple clips and roll with it already. So anyways, the PX-1, that first video, I was kind of disappointed because $130, you should get a usable mic. Now that we've figured out the issue with the Zoom H6 and went back to the Rodecaster Pro, no processing, for the sake of knowing I've got the level on the Rodecaster Pro set to 18, which is pretty darn low. I mean, we're talking probably 15 to 20% gain, and this thing's getting really good solid levels off of just that, which condensers typically do. That's one reason they're great for cheap, crappy interfaces with phantom power. Not going to get a whole lot of noise out of a cheap, crappy. Not that the Rodecaster's cheap and crappy, but you can use a low-end interface with a microphone like this because it doesn't require much gain, which means you're not working your preamps very hard. So if you were to plug a Shure SM7B into a crap-ass interface, you're not going to get the best sound, a lot of noise. So it's good that this thing operates off so little gain and actually sounds pretty good. My overall thoughts of the mic is it's pretty smooth, which is completely different than the Zoom H6 test. The only thing I wish there was more of is a little more bottom end. I think the mids and the high are nice and smooth and pleasant, and this thing is pretty pleasant to listen to, and I actually might lean towards keeping this, which is a massive difference from the first review that I'd done on this, where I was just ready to get rid of it as quickly as possible. So for the sake of me, this is for me. I am a lover of a nice, warm bottom end. That's what she said. We're going to throw some bottom end on it. So I've added a big bottom to it on the Rodecaster Pro. I hope that sweat's not showing so terribly on video, but this is what it sounds like with a little more of a big bottom. And I think that sounds a little nicer, but it's not quite. There's still, the mids are still kind of taking over on this mic to where the low boost that I just put on it is still not quite enough for me. Still not quite enough for me. Now, granted, if I get closer to it, now it's starting to get better for me, but I don't like to get 2 inches off the mic. I like to give myself 5 or 6 inches. That's what she said! And, you know, so I have room to play. I don't like to hold still way up on the mic, but with the big bottom, with a couple inches closer, it does sound pretty good. But I'm still wanting a little more when I get in my range where I like to be on a mic. So, you know, I'll turn that off. It could be a little better on the low end, but it's not offensive. That low end's probably not going to bother me on a bassy car stereo. It's probably going to sound pretty good, which I will listen to this in there and share my thoughts in the description. So the Presonus PX-1, I like it. I'm going to give it a green light, which is not what I expected after the Zoom H6 fiasco. I think it sounds pretty good. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty nice. There is some sibilance. I don't really care for my S's on this mic. Although it's not horrible. I might be emphasizing that a little bit. No, the sibilance is little higher than I would like for it to be. But the Presonus, it deserved a re-review, and it actually deserves your consideration at the $130 price point. I think it sounds pretty solid. Not to steal exactly what he said, but it's a really nice sound for $130. Bandrew, his review's very, very good of it, like he is on everything, but pretty solid attempt here, Presonus. It's okay. It's quite all right. I would like to put this up against the King Bee. I may have to do that in a future video, but then again, Bandrew might have already done that. I think he did. So go check that out instead. Don't watch me. Watch him. I don't care. It's all good. I watch him. I watch everybody. Anybody that's got an opinion and reviews lots of mics, I want to hear it. So thanks for joining me. Presonus PX-1 is out. got the redo, back in the leather, pleather, vinyl thingy, and back into the box until I want to use it or you want to buy it. I'll go ahead and link my reverb on it down below because I'll sell anything. I don't have a soul. Peace out.